Glaad ads remind LGBTQ plus voters what's at stake in November 8th midterm elections.
When the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, we both looked at each other and said, I think our family could be at risk.
When we fought for marriage equality, we never thought that we would be at risk of having it taken away. Walking down the aisle was very special and something I never imagined would happen for me.
We can no longer take for granted the rights that we thought were our protections. And marriage equality could be next.
We all have to turn out to vote. It's important for all families.
The stakes are high for LGBTQ plus Americans in this November's election, as two new ads from Glaad are reminding voters. The ads released Wednesday highlight the threat to marriage equality and the continuing attack on transgender youth. They will air nationwide on digital and broadcast media. The election will determine control of Congress and many state and local races. It comes at a time when Supreme Court Justice Clarence has said the court's 2015 marriage equality ruling should be reversed, as he wrote in a statement when the court overturned Roe v. Wade, which had guaranteed the right to abortion nationwide. A bill that would write marriage equality into federal law is pending in Congress. Meanwhile, several states have enacted anti-trans laws and policies, particularly targeting young people. Glaad President and CEO Sarah K. Ellis said in a press release, quote, "The stakes could not be higher. Every LGBTQ person and every one of our allies must hear the warning in these ads and make a plan to vote. The legal protection of our marriages is at risk and marriage equality is on the ballot. We urgently need everyone to speak up for LGBTQ people with their votes to protect our marriages, our children, our families, and our futures," end quote.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. There are some politicians who are trying to tear my family apart simply because my son is transgender. Trans kids don't have a political agenda. They are just kids. They just want to be left alone. They have the same hopes and dreams and deserve the same equality as your child does. My family's just like yours. We love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us.
Make a plan to vote before Election Day.
You know, ads like this are so important, and kudos to Glaad for getting them out, because I mean, our community needs to know. We're here screaming and yelling about this, yet every time I talk to like some people I haven't seen in a while, they're like dead. They have no understanding of like what's going on and what's at stake come November 8th. I'm sick of seeing Governor DeSantis's commercials 20 times a day of his stupid ass wife crying about her cancer. No offense, I had cancer, I can say that. You know, so like it's like over and over again. We need these ads to be out there 20 times a day on all types of forums and spotlights, because this is what people need to see. A lot of our community is literally like dead to this and doesn't know that what's at stake coming up in a couple of weeks.
You know, our voice is our vote is our voice and our power in our democracy. So we have got to use it. Over 300 anti-LGBT bills were proposed across the nation this past year. We do not change and take back state legislatures, school boards, city councils, keep control of both houses of Congress. We're in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
And you know, marriage equality isn't the only thing stuck right now in the Congress. The Equality Act is also stuck there. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz from Florida, was in Wilton Manors last night. I went to go hear her speak, and she's saying, these are all things that have moved out of the House, and we've got to get them passed now, because we're not going to get another bite at the apple. We're probably going to lose Democrat control of the House in November, so we've got to keep the Senate. And it's so important to vote, and as well as at the school board level, like the story said, at the state House level. We've got to get these votes out, because what little margin of error we have for power right now is probably going to go away.
You know, a final thought, at 20,000 feet, Ryan, you represent the National Task Force in their dinner next Saturday night. I think about you and the National Task Force in this story of what Glaad is doing. You're getting ready to do red, white, and you as an illustration to say, if you show up, we win. If you don't show up, we lose. Yes. And raising money. So many times I'm asked, well, why today do we need to support organizations like Glaad or the HRC or the National Task Force or SAVE or Equality Florida? Because our rights are under attack. And that's the reason why. And that's the reason why these ads are so incredibly important.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.